Right? I know. And I mean, that's the thing is it's for a lot of the things that are happening right now, a lot of the conversations that are happening right now, it's really, really distressing for me. And I will use the word distressing that there are so many people who are so comfortable in their own realms that there is nothing that is going to help them to understand something that they have never lived through.
Right.
And I get it. You know, everybody wants to gripe about the PC police and everybody wants to gripe about, you know, I can say whatever I want. You absolutely can say whatever you want, but you absolutely also need to give other people the same respect you're demanding if they decide not to be around you for saying whatever you want.
Right.
I mean, that's just, you know, you don't get to force me to be a part of your ideology, you know. I was trying to.
I saw that pause. I was like, I wonder if she's going to cuss at me.
No. I'm trying to think of big words to still sound intelligent without getting all in my rage. Because, in all honesty, too, part of the reason that these things are just so chaotic right now is that people are degrading into rage without thinking what they're saying.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times, you know, it just degrades into name calling and insults. And it's just like, you're not even using logic anymore. You're just trying to insult me. And so that's one of the things that I try really hard not to do.
Well, Facebook and social media is very good for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good for people to just go into name calling because they can, I guess they consider that arguing nowadays is just.
Well, and I think the thing is, if we look at arguing versus debating, they're calling it a debate, but it's an argument.
Right.
And
it's not so much as an argument as name calling. And
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, third thing, and then I'll try to be funny again. So another
the
thing
show
that
doesn't
got me.
always have to be funny.
Okay, that's good to know.
Sometimes we can discuss real things that matter.
Doggone these hormones.
It's just so rare. I'm always taken by surprise when it happens.
So. I you know, I'll put it like this. A friend of mine told me the other night, and I really hadn't thought about it, and I really have thought about it since. But I told him how I have been like backing away from Facebook debates because I feel like I don't really have a voice. I feel like somebody else has to speak for me. And what that was born from was the idea that even though people know that things that are wrong are happening and not being addressed, it takes somebody in the mainstream to say, hey, you guys, this is a problem after the people who have been victimized have been saying it for decades.
Right.
And that goes for women, that goes for minorities, that goes for people with disabilities, that goes for alternative lifestyles. At the end of the day, it doesn't really become a problem until enough people that are quote unquote mainstream get the attention of other people that are quote unquote mainstream. And so I was talking to my friend about this, and he was just like, you have an amazing voice. You shouldn't discount yourself like that. You shouldn't say that you don't have a voice. You absolutely have a voice and you need to use it. And then 2 days later, I'm on the radio. So.
Hey, there you go. And you're using your voice.
So yeah, here we are. But then the last thing, and then we can crack jokes about it. I was reading how the Cleveland police are thinking about boycotting carrying the flag of the Browns. And I comprehend that the person who said this was not representing the department per se, but the person who said this, I'm loosely quoting, basically said it's ignorant of these players to participate in this protest. And I was so infuriated. And Don, I can tell you right now, that whole laugh might be confusing you, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to speak to a stereotype right now. When black women laugh about something that they're mad about, it's because we feel like we can't punch. I mean, that's literally what happens that. And so I read this and just the use of the word ignorance in this context just made me so infuriated, because what that said to me was, here was a person who is so ignorant of the basis of the protest. He's so ignorant of the travesties that have happened, executed by people wearing his uniform. Okay. Executed by people that he pledged allegiance to. Ignorant of why people are so frustrated and why it's come to this, and has the nerve to say these people are ignorant for doing this. Now, you know what ignorance is to me, and I'm probably going to make some people mad, but it just is what it is. Violence is ignorant to me. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you can't speak on whatever it is that you need to get resolved, violence is not going to make you look better. No. Now, are enough people frustrated to the point from being ignored for as long as they have that they're resorting to violence? That's what's happening. Got it. I don't think that it's making things better. But again, when I hear the black people started the race war thing, when I hear the you just need to get over slavery stuff, oh no, that was point blank said to me by a person that I have worked with.
Wow.
Okay? How can you possibly comprehend, much less understand, the true basis for what's going on in this country right now if you can say things like that? Now,
yeah, I don't get that.
The whole idea with 45, I will not call him by his government name, talking about these are good people when he won't say the same thing about Latinos who have helped build this country, about Afro-Americans who have helped build this country, pretty much anybody else who helped build this country. And if we're going to talk about immigration and legality of it, let's just understand that the Native Americans didn't have an immigration policy in place when Europeans came.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit different, I think.
But that's the thing. It's like, before somebody jumps on the, oh my God, she's a militant black lady and she hates all white people. First of all, understand I've been married to a white man, so just shut it. All right?
Yeah, you definitely hate that one, probably.
That one guy, yeah. But
I'm not scared of you, so we're okay.
That's good to know, because I really need a white friend right now. Okay. But the thing is people are wanting minorities and women and other non-mainstream people to forget everything that has happened up to now and start with a clean slate, but they keep doing the same stuff that we're supposed to forget. Right. You can't forget stuff that's still happening. That is not logical.
Well, yeah. If you're telling somebody to get over something and then you have a bunch of ignorant people marching, carrying flags that represent what you're supposed to be getting over.
And that's the thing. You see the flag and you see one thing. What you don't see is, and it's been documented in films and in photographs and historically, that flag was flown over people while they were being beaten and murdered. And we're supposed to look at that thing and be like, oh no, it's cool. I'm not supposed to feel any kind of way about that. I'm not supposed to feel like anybody flying that flag is going to have any violent intentions toward me. That's like trying to say you can separate the alcohol from the moonshine. You can't.
Right.
And to see this thing flying at a government building where I'm supposed to expect to get equal treatment? Seriously? Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
You shouldn't,
because
it's an upsetting
and
situation.
What frustrates me is that people who have known me, people who have worked with me, people who have not heard me speak out about this before, make assumptions. Well, you're a veteran, so you must feel XYZ way. Well, no. First of all, don't tell me what I think. Okay. Second of all, I can guarantee you there's a lot more veterans than not who think that the idea of police brutality is a horrible thing. There are a lot more veterans than not who think that racism is a horrible thing. So don't get on this high horse about they're disrespecting the flag. They're disrespecting what it stands for. What's disrespectful to the flag is that you people will turn a blind eye to these issues and say it's not my problem until it happens to somebody white. There, I said it. Ooh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
How about those Dodgers? Is there anybody who's not making the police mad right now? Who do we talk about?
I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot that doesn't make police mad these days. So,
and the thing is, let me state again, I am friends with people who are police. And they are wonderful people. I am friends with a number of veterans because I'm a veteran myself. Wonderful people. The thing is, the ones who aren't being wonderful people need to be held accountable. That's all the heck we're asking for. And so when somebody says Black Lives Matter and you retort with no, all lives matter, the first thing you're saying is no.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's the analogy I use on that one is if you're driving down the road and you get a flat tire, you don't open the hood and change out the serpentine belt. You concentrate on the tire.
Exactly.
Because that's the problem.
And unfortunately, between social media and mainstream media and what is getting concentrated on right now, that's exactly what's happening is, well, we have this other problem that's born from this bigger problem, but we're going to just sweep the bigger problem away and put the focus of attention on the smaller problem because, I mean, it like...
Right. You'd take your car into the mechanic. Well, all parts matter.
Right.
Why should we concentrate on what's broken? All parts matter.
But,
unfortunately, not enough people understand it that way.
So how do we, how does that discussion go? Because this is what's happening. You've got a lot of people who are trying to have this discussion and they're arguing it. They're not debating it. Right. And so they're dug in to what they think. No matter what, they're dug into what they think. And okay, I am biased because I really do believe that the mistreatment of somebody based on something other than their actions is inappropriate. But there are people who don't believe that. Now,
it's hard to see that as a bias.
Well, remember,
for some of us, it's hard to see that.
This is me and my anger issues. Okay, I'm a very angry person. I need to see a therapist about why I believe people should actually have some expectation of enjoying the same securities as other law-abiding citizens. I mean, I don't.
Well, some people see any anger and frustration as an anger problem. But that's not true. An anger problem is when you absolutely have no control and you snap because somebody put the wrong lid on your coffee cup at Starbucks and you start throwing.
That's why I don't go to Starbucks anymore. That happened and I had to check myself. Ooh, you did it.
I did it.
I'm the amateur and you did it. That's awesome. For those of you who don't know, Dawn got a little sign today and it says, "Oh bleep, the delay thing is broken, so we're trying to be extra careful not to curse." And so when I was looking for a 4-syllable word, Don thought I was going to curse and he held up the sign and I don't have a sign to hold up for Don.
No. So and
how do I police him? How do I Nobody heard it. Nobody call into the station. Nobody.
Nothing can be done about it.
You know
now.
We're probably making a much bigger deal about it than anybody actually
nobody heard it. It's just they're hearing the discussion of it. So now they're going to listen back, which, that's okay because I record it and I'll bleep it out when it comes time for the podcast. So it's just going to look like we didn't say anything.
There was nothing to see here. Nothing.
But I mean, it's a situation that leads to making you want to cuss.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So I mean, to me, I think what a lot of people are overlooking in this discussion is that if you want to refer to them as factions, we have these factions within our society that are insisting on coexisting without respecting the other.
Right.
Now, if you want to go off in the woods and do your thing.
There used to be those factions that were out in the woods.
Right.
But it's like something happened back in November that has been kind of a call to action to these factions to say, hey, come out.
Right.
And that's a problem. In a way, well, at least now we know who they are.
But can I say that part of the reason that it is a problem is after all of these years of minorities and women saying this is what these people do when you're not looking, now they're doing it out in the open. And I'm going to say it. People are kind of like, oh, I should have been listening.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say above all else, but way high up there is the I don't want to be wrong factor. And so some of the people that are so dug into this that it still doesn't matter thing just don't want to be wrong. It's gotten to the point that it doesn't matter how it affects another human being. Their pride is saying, I don't want to be wrong. Mm-hmm. But again, in the context of if you honestly believe in the golden rule, how can you not see this behavior as wrong? Do you want to be treated that way? If you don't want to be treated that way, then you shouldn't ascribe to that treatment. That's
right.
The super simple thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
Man, the closer I get to 50, is this going to be more of this? Because, God.
I don't